Swifty Blizzu. Man, people really don't like this guy, huh? What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. So yesterday, there were a few different content creators, platforms on YouTube that put out content saying that Swifty Blue had been arrested, and then they put out that he was in PC. Let me get to what I saw, and then we'll discuss that kind of stuff. So earlier in the day, I had saw clips. I had saw a clip. I won't say clips. I had saw a short from Swifty, and he was dropping off, like, you know, it's kind of like a scavenger hunt type deal, right? He was dropping off bags of herb, you know, some packs of weed in different locations, and then saying, hey, I'm dropping it off over here, and, you know, basically promoting, you know, getting people involved. That's a smart idea. Is getting people involved in looking for this free weed and trying out this free weed, and, you know, hopefully, you know, get new customers for that group, that product, that company. Well, I guess while he was doing that, he wound up around some teenagers, some high school kids, and they were being disrespectful, as a lot of us were when we were that age. I don't know what happened. I don't know what was said. I'm hearing things. I don't want to get into the whole rumor mill thing. But people turned around and said that Swifty got punked by some high school kids. Now, I only made it to high school in Riverside. Shout out to Ramona High School, Casablanca's high school. I went there for a couple months when I was in a group home, and then got sent back to my neighborhood when I got out of the group home and went to YA. So I didn't really experience the whole high school thing. But I'll tell you this. High school age kids are the ones carrying guns and using them. At least back in the 80s and 90s, right? So for people to be like, oh, it was some high school kids, those are probably the most dangerous. That's your gangbanging prime years. And those are not the ones to play with. Those are the ones strapped, and they're not going to give a damn about a person's age. And, you know, you're at that age where you're trying to prove who you are, and you see an OG, and I'm not saying that Swifty is an OG, but you get the picture, right? So what was Swifty to do? Get off on some little kids? And yeah, I stick to what I said. They're gangbangers, but at the end of the day, he's an adult and they're not. But that's not even the point I have contention with. The point I have contention with is this, man. It has become, and I'm going to be doing another video on this. Not on this person, not on Swifty and this incident, but on another video I saw. It has become commonplace for people to throw around this PC label and this dropout label and think it's funny and think it's cute and act like you're hard for doing it. You know, I remember there were consequences. I remember when people got pulled over, Holmes, and I'm not talking about by the Hudas, I'm talking about by the homies. Hey, Holmes, you're saying this, eh? Where you get that from? And they're going to want to know if it's true or not. And they're going to want to know where you're getting your info from. And if you are just putting something out there for shits and giggles, something that important, you are going to get disciplined in a very severe way. But, you know, nowadays we're in this era where people don't show their faces, but run their motherfucking mouths. That's coward shit. I'm a dinosaur. I know the old school ways. If you speak on it, you have to be willing to deal with it. They had a saying in prison, Holmes. Don't start it unless you're willing to finish it. And by finishing it, they meant kill the person. And so people were very cautious on how to proceed because they knew the obligations that come with opening their mouths. Nowadays, you have these people with no profile pictures. They don't post their names. You never see who they are. A lot of times you don't know their real voice. And they're putting these jackets. I have made a bunch of videos where I've clowned Swifty. But I mean, look at his hair, look at his build. Like, it's carrilla. It's clowning. It's not personal. The last thing I would do is put a PC jacket, a rat jacket, or anything like that on somebody. I've said before, Gunner and I in February had the paperwork on Mr. Criminal. We didn't put it out there. You know, I just talked about how I read on Google that the feds want to start they want to make it a law that people on the internet have to post a profile picture of who they are and attach their names. So that way, when people do put jackets on people and somebody gets killed for it, they know who to press charges against. I don't think people realize that that's a real thing. But, you know, when somebody gets charged and then they're crying, you know, these fake ass tough guys that never went to prison talking all that high power shit, then they get charged with a hot one in their 30s. They're not built for that lifestyle because they've always been on the periphery. They were never on the playing field. They were in the stands. They were in the bleachers. I've told stories where vatos would get at me on the yard, you know, in a few places when I did have a leadership position. Hey, Holmes, you know, you vatos should do. And how you going to start your conversation with me like that? You know, you vatos should. And I would tell them, I would look them straight in the eye and say, hey, so you want to get out of the bleachers and get on the playing field with us? And you see their eyes bug out like, oh, shit. And I would tell them, you know, it's a lot safer in them bleachers, homie. Because as soon as you get on the field, you become a player. And you got to live by the rules and the expectations and the obligations. So those of you that like being in the fucking stands, being in the bleachers, stay there safe. But if you're going to talk about somebody, if you don't like somebody, say you don't like them and say why you don't like them. If you want to clown somebody, clown them, you know, for your views and this and this and that. But when you're going to put a jacket on somebody, if you're any type of man, have the receipts for the jackets you're putting on them. Because if not, you're a bitch. Straight up. I'm just going to, you know, if you are able to say that about people you don't even know and you don't know what it really is. And I'm not just saying the Swifty stuff. I'm saying period. That's bitch shit, Holmes. Whatever's happening with Swifty, you know, lately he's been grinding on that music thing. And he said he's going to, I think I saw it in an interview. I think it was the interview with Cholo Juan, matter of fact. It might not have been. It might have been the other one with Bootleg Kev. I don't know. I don't remember. But he did an interview and he said he was going to give up on music. And now he's really pushing. And it's unfortunate because I've seen this a lot of times. When people are doing bad, it's when they start trying to do good that a monkey wrench is going to come their way. And it's a test. And it's also when you find out who's really in your corner and who's not. And that's when you take notes. You know, when you're up, you always got friends. It's when you hit that rough spot and you find out who's there, who got love for you, who picks up that phone, who answers your text, who helps you the way they can, and who laughs, who talks shit. I don't know I don't know. Hopefully he makes bail. Hopefully it's not a big deal. Hopefully the reports are wrong. I know some of these guys, they come up, they get it like that, and they're accurate. I don't know. I don't know how they get that. I don't have connections with COs and cops to where I can fucking find out stuff like that. And then check this out. The other time, you know, it's amazing how a while back, Gunner and I did somebody that was in the county jail with Blueface called somebody. That somebody called somebody that Gunner and I knew and let us know he got jumped on And then we put it out there, and then we were told, you're Mexican, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And then a few weeks later, and then just recently, CMAC just confirmed that what we said was true. And because CMAC is black, and these other content creators were black, it was true the whole time. But the Mexicans just can't say nothing, even when we're not talking shit, and we're right. But I digress. All I want to say is this. When people want to use these prison terms and apply them out here, know what the terms mean. And I think that it should go back to the old ways, the old days. When you speak on something, someone should holler at you like, hey, where you get that from, Holmes? And I think that would alleviate a lot of the horrible look. I'm telling you, a lot of people are looking really bad on social media. Things that weren't allowed on social media for the longest, it's for a reason. And now look, things got lenient, and look at how bad people look. The comadre in them is on spotlight. That's my video for today, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. And Swifty Blue, hopefully everything's all right, man. It'll be what it's going to be, though. I'm out of here.